Hey guys, Project Pat 345 coming at you with a quick deck profile and tournament report. I went to the Philadelphia Regional yesterday, and it was the biggest regional in history. It was 700. It was almost 750 people. At the end of the day, my record was X3, and I came in 90th. I didn't get my invite, but I was actually really happy with the way my deck performed. As you can see, I played Rabbit, but it wasn't your conventional Rabbit build. I played Machina Rabbit, and the reason I like the deck is because it was explosive. It was something a lot of people weren't prepared for, a lot of things people weren't expecting. Round 1, I played Rabbit, and I won. Round 2, I played Rabbit, and I lost. Game 1, he opened up Rabbit, make Logia, set 4 back row, flip macro. I couldn't win. And Game 2, we were going back and forth, and we ended up top decking, and he topped Rabbit, so there's nothing I could do. Round 3, I played against Teledad. I actually lost to this. Game 1, he got me. Game 2, I exploded turn 2 and killed him. Game 3, I thought I was okay, and then he ended up making a Void Ogre Dragon, dropping BLS, and I couldn't come back. Round 4, I played against Agents, and I 2-0'd it. Round 5, I played against Dragons, and I 2-0'd it. Round 6, I actually had a no-show, which was kind of interesting, but I could understand because it was 10 rounds. It was ridiculous. Next round, I played Wind Up, and I won. Round 8. It was easily my most interesting matchup of the day. I played against Tyler Nolan. Shout out to him. He played Gishki, but it was the hand loop version. Game 1, he went upstart, into the void, magical mallet, hand destruction, and then looked at his hand and said, "I can't beat you." Game 2. Game 3, our match was an hour and 15 minutes. Game 2, he looked at me and he said he got the loop off. What he does is, I can't explain it to you guys. It's the most complicated loop I've ever seen. But it infinity loops 1 day of peace, and it makes your opponent deck out. I can't explain to you how. Once I get a link to his tournament report or his video explaining it, I can definitely leave the link below. But Game 2, he said that he had the loop going, and we could either go in a time and draw or go to Game 3, and I could try and beat him. So I decided to go to Game 3, and he ended up getting me. So that was my most interesting matchup of the day, and I'll talk to you guys about that in another video. Round 9, I played against Dragons, and I beat the kid. Round 10, I played against my friend Jeff. Shout out to him. With windups, he very kindly gave me the win because he had his invite and I did not. And because the tournament was so big, X3s were getting their invite, so he gave me a shot, even though I didn't get it. Shout out to him. But that's my mini tournament report. But I'll show you guys the deck profile and I'll explain some cards. You have your 2 Rabbit, obviously. For your vanillas, you play triple Mechanical Chaser and triple X-Head Cannon. They're important because they're level 4 machines that you can make the gaunt with to get your searches. These are darks and these are lights, so that's important. Then you have the Tour Guide engine of double Tour Guide and Sengen. The deck has a lot of normal summons, and you usually kill your opponent pretty quickly. So really the only reason Tour Guide's here, and the reason you don't play Night Assailant, is because you're only really going to get the Leviair play off with Rabbit once, if that. I didn't make the Leviair play a single time during the tournament, but it's just there for utility. Then for the Machina, you play triple Fortress, or triple Gear Frame, triple Fortress, and 1 Cannon. This is good. It allows you to OTK your opponent, and it just works really well. My 2 favorite cards of the entire deck of the entire day, Black Salvo and 1 Birdman. Black Salvo allows you to bring back Mechanical Chaser and go into Karakuri Bure, and then you can spam, and then Bure brings out your Hypo, which I'll show you play later. Or what you can do is you can go Salvo, bring back Mechanical Chaser, bounce Mechanical Chaser for Birdman, and then you can overlay into any 3 you want, or Leviair to bring back your Rabbit. Another reason Birdman's important is because you can go like Rabbit into double Mechanical Chaser, bounce Mechanical Chaser for Birdman, synchro into Bure. What was the other play that I did? Oh, I turn 1 against windups. I went Gear Frame, Search Fortress, pitch. What did I pitch? Mechanical Chaser and Fortress for Fortress, and then equip Gear Frame. Go. And he did his play. And then during my turn, I unequipped Gear Frame, bounced Gear Frame for Birdman, summon Gear Frame again, get my search off, make Bure that way. These 2 cards are just really explosive, and the only reason you play 1 is because they become dead draws. But more or less it's because you can search them out with Gigant really easily. So these are really good all day. One Hypa for the Beret play. You can just put a big beater on board and it's nice. And it's a machine. And then one BLS because you play lights and darks. One of the spells, play one Allure. The reason I like this deck more than like a conventional rabbit is you can do stuff with your vanillas. You can pitch them to Special Fortress. You can allure them away, at least Mechanical Chaser. It's fodder for BLS. I really like the Allure in here. It's a good draw. It's an easy side out too. But I play Allure, one Avarice, two Lance. I really wasn't too fond of Lance. The only reason I can see that it helped me was it helped me get over a Pulsar when he had nothing in grave. I put it in because in testing against my friends I was scared of the Rabbit matchup because they have cards like Bottomless and Deep Prison, which really hurts because they get rid of your fortress obviously and it's hard to come back. But surprisingly, I really didn't like it that much. I'm thinking about putting in dualities just to add a little bit of consistency, or I might put them in for Compulse. I'm not 100% sure, but Lance was okay. It just wasn't stellar. 2 space to clear back or along with Heavy, Reborn, and then Hull. And then Limiter, obviously. Limiter's really good. This is more of an aggro deck. It usually OTKs your opponent more than anything, but you can grind it out if you like. There were so many times that I would just go like, what I do, like Rabbit into 2 Mechanical Chaser, bounce for Birdman, Synchro into Beret, and Hypa, attack, Limiter, game. I ended up FTKing my opponent. I forget what round it was. It was against Dragons. He summoned Wyvern and set a back row, said go. I looked at my hand, I went Rabbit into the double Mechanical Chaser, bounced the Mechanical Chaser for Birdman and Mechanical Chaser into Beret bring out Hypa, and now that I bounced to Vanilla, I have it for a Fortress, ditch it, and Fortress for Fortress, attack, Limiter for game. So it was really good, and it's also an easy side out. One of the traps, I played double Bottomless, double Mirror Force. I just think it's an all-around better card than Deep Prison right now. I'm really not sure why. There's so many just Swarm decks that I just think it's better. Double Fiendish. Double Fiendish is like one of my favorite cards right now. It's really good. I like it better than Valor. It's decent in the Mermail matchup because you set it, and when they drop Megalo, if they pitch Marksman, you can activate it, and their Marksman now just did nothing because this isn't destroyed because it's now face up, and their Megalo doesn't get their Abyss Sphere. So I really liked Fiendish Chain. You have your double Warning, Solemn, and then Road. I actually played Road more or less because I was scared of Dark Hole and Torrential than I was, Heavy Storm. But that was the deck. It's 42 cards. I'm definitely going to play around with it and see what I can make. Extra deck was double Geargion X. It's just like a rank 4 toolbox for the most part. One Utopia, one Cowboy. The reason Cowboy is good is because if you go Rabbit into double Mechanical Chaser and you can direct attack off and chain Limiter, it leaves them at like 73 or something, I forget, and then you can just make Cowboy for a game. It's really ignorant. One Papal Operative and one Mace Stroke for the 4s. For the 3s, you play Zenmaines, Tempo, Leviathan, and Levier. The reason I played Leviathan, I don't know. Just more and more, I'm liking Leviathan less and less, but I just like it because it usually just baits out Thunder King negations. I don't know. And then one Big Eye. This card was like obviously one of the MVPs of the day. Because it's an OTK deck, if your opponent drops Gores or Tragodia, you can be in a lot of trouble. And it's really nice because a lot of the time when you OTK, you have a Fortress and Beret on board, so if they drop either one of those, you can just take it with Big Eye, and you really don't have to worry about it. So Big Eye was really good. Your one Stardust for your Road, one Beret, one Black Herders to blow up the field, and then I played one Ancient Fairy. It's pretty good. In testing, I got off against Spellbook to kill their tower, and you gain 1,000. But it's also really cool because if they get rid of this, and you can make Big Eye and steal your opponent's like Red Eyes metal, you can then bring this back, or you can bring like Black Rose back or anything. It's pretty cool. On the side deck, I was actually pretty happy with my side deck. I used every card on my side except 4, which usually never happens because I usually end up just not playing my best matchups, and I just have a bunch of dead cards on my side deck. Played 2 Thunder King. This went in against Tyler, went in against Dragons and Windups. Double Maxi, Windup 8. Double Gemini. This is one of the cards I never sided in. I never played any Dark World or Mermail for that matter, so it was dead in my side deck. One Space, along with the 2 Soul Taker, 2 Soul Drain. I didn't play any Mermail or Dark World, unfortunately, so these cards were dead, but thank God I didn't side 3 like I was thinking about. Double Torrential. The reason I put this in against Windups because, like I said, this deck's usually an OTK deck. So you like your board presence because even if you don't kill them that turn, like even though Fortress or Gear Frame is a +1, I'd rather not Torrential it because there's a lot of plays you can do, like I said with Birdman or like another level 4 machine. So I'd rather keep them. But against a wind-up deck that might be a little bit faster, I put them in. And then 2 Compulse. Compulse is really good in the Rabbit matchup because you can Compulse the Vanilla. It was good in the wind-up matchup because I compulsed his Thunder King, I compulsed his Zenmaines, which I couldn't deal with at the time. So yeah, but that's the deck, guys. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I definitely want to work on this deck. It's really, really fun. It's really explosive, and if you're going to a larger scale event, it really throws your opponent off guard because, I had so many people that just Veilered my Rabbit turn 1 and ran over it, and I really didn't care because I had a Gear Frame in hand. And then you summon Gear Frame next turn, and they're completely thrown off. They're confused. They don't know what's going on. And surprise factor is a really big thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, guys, that's my Machina Rabbit deck. So don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.